Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining me for this WNCT Now Digital News Update. I'm Emily Severidge, live in the WNCT Digital Studio. We're going to go ahead and start out this afternoon update with some breaking news out of Goldsboro. Shortly before noon, the body of 38-year-old Sterling Holman was located in the Neuse River. This concludes a week-long search for the missing individual, along with his 5-year-old son. K-9 teams, rescue boats, dive teams, and aerial support were involved in this search. Crews had been searching for the father and 5-year-old son since last Wednesday night when they went missing during a fishing trip. The crews had located the 5-year-old's body in the Neuse River Monday afternoon. Now they have found the father's body as well, so that search has concluded. The Craven County Sheriff's Office is searching for a missing man last seen Tuesday morning who's said to be suffering from dementia or another cognitive impairment. 71-year-old Charles Vandefold was last seen walking in the area of the Bridgepoint Hotel and Marina around 7 a.m. Tuesday. Vandefold took a cab from his home in Vanceboro. He's described as a 6'2" white male with short gray hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen wearing a white crewneck sweater, a light blue baggy pants, loafer-type shoes, and was walking with a cane. If you have any information or have Vandefold, you are asked to contact the Craven County Sheriff's Office. Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin's trial continues today. Chauvin is charged in the death of George Floyd. Chauvin is the officer seen in the video pressing his neck into George Floyd's neck. Today, a Minneapolis firefighter will retake the stand to testify about what happened that day. Genevieve Hansen claims she was prevented from using her EMT training to help Floyd during the incident. Hansen testified Tuesday in her dress uniform. She recounted the events, saying, "I would have been able to provide medical attention to the best of my abilities, and this human was denied that right." Chauvin's defense team will claim during this trial that Floyd's death was not caused by the officer, but was a combination of illegal drug use, heart disease, and high blood pressure. They'll argue that Chauvin followed police training and is not guilty of these murder charges. Well, we have some weather for the middle of your week. Heading into Easter weekend, Storm Team 9 meteorologist Alex Wasilenko has that forecast for us.
Happy halfway to Friday, everybody. I'm your Storm Team 9 meteorologist, Alex Wasilenko, reporting from the WNCT studios in the Storm Team 9 Weather Center, where it's going to be rather active today. We're talking about a Storm Team 9 weather alert day in effect for your Wednesday as a cold front gets set to arrive with strong to severe storms possible. We also can't rule out the risk of an isolated tornado, too. You'll notice just a few severe storms likely today as we have a marginal to slight risk for severe weather. That's a 1 and 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. As we look back at the early morning forecast, just some spotty sprinkles and showers moving through, but I wanted to show you the early morning hours because we stayed dry for the most part, and that dry air mass overhead is really going to start to saturate this afternoon into the evening as we build up heat and humidity. Check out those temperatures in the 70s and close to 80 degrees in some communities, all as that cold front begins to arrive just back to the west. As that cold front plows through this evening and overnight, do expect those isolated strong to severe storms inland, more scattered about along the coast past midnight. By early Thursday morning, as you head into school and work, it's going to be chilly. Temperatures will be in the 40s to low 50s with some leftover showers, and winds out of the north will be quite blustery. Those blustery north winds throughout the day on Thursday will lead us down a road of highs only in the lower to middle 50s, and by the overnight into Friday morning, do be on the lookout for some patchy frost as many of us will be hovering near freezing. Do be sure to download that free Storm Team 9 weather app so you can track all the latest ups and downs of your spring forecast, because boy, are there many to track. Those ups and downs will bring us through the 80s today, 50s Thursday and Friday, back into the 60s and 70s though by Saturday and Sunday, and for Easter weekend as a whole. Easter weekend is looking stellar too, with lots of sunshine on the way, dry weather, and comfortable readings. By early next week, we continue to keep that good streak of weather alive. Lots of sunshine Monday and Tuesday, and even warmer highs, possibly in the lower to middle 70s by next Tuesday. Do your best to remain weather aware as the severe weather threat approaches later today, and make sure you have multiple ways to receive severe weather alerts. Make it a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, everybody. I'm your Storm Team 9 meteorologist, Alex Wasilenko.
After 17 years, cicadas are getting ready to pop their heads back out of the ground, and vaccine companies say their shots are effective in young children. But just how young? That and more coming up after this short break.
And we're up.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good evening.
You're watching
Live coverage of a news conference.
Live to breaking news.
We're live outside
Joins us live.
in Kinston,
in Jacksonville,
in New Bern, now in Greenville.
Dangerous conditions.
We don't dare drop our guard.
rip currents can be really hard to spot.
The Washington waterfront.
Chair pieces and cable lines.
Walking you through the story.
Working day in and day out.
This election,
Unprecedented.
I did speak to the Board of Elections Director.
We are there with you.
we're on your side.
9 on your side.
Weekdays starting at 5.
Finally, the wait is over. Storm Team 9 is here. Our experienced team is keeping you informed and keeping you safe. Depend on Storm Team 9.
Thanks so much for joining me. If you're just tuning in, I'm Emily Severidge, live in the WNCT digital studio, bringing you some afternoon updates. WNCT is bringing you live streamed updates every Monday through Friday at 1:30 p.m. and 4 o'clock p.m. to bring you the latest and up-to-date news before our nightly newscast. Well, health officials and companies are saying that they might be on the way to getting all kids fully vaccinated before the start of fall next year. Pfizer says their COVID vaccine is safe and strongly protects children as young as the age of 12. Pfizer's vaccine is currently authorized from ages 16 and older. But Pfizer isn't the only company seeking to lower the age limit for their vaccine. Moderna is now considering the same. The FDA is allowing studies to be done in the United States with children 11 years of age and younger, working their way down to as young as 6 months. Experts say one of the most important pieces of evidence will be how well the shots rev up a kid's immune system. The study plans to continue to track participants for the next 2 years or more to monitor long-term protectivity and safety. Bend, Oregon is the home to the last ever blockbuster movie rental store. They soared to fame over 2 years ago when they officially became the last open blockbuster franchise. Since Netflix aired a documentary called The Last Blockbuster, bringing the store worldwide fame, drawing in customers as far as Taiwan and London. At the beginning, the store's owners had no idea if they were able to stay open, but soon started hearing from people all over the country, thanking them and pleading with them to keep the store open at all costs. Some even coined it a national treasure, the last of its kind. Right now, the Bend Blockbuster has no plans to close. The Netflix documentary has peaked as high as the number 4 top movie in the United States since it aired back in March. Well, cicadas are back. That's right after spending 17 years underground. Once that ground starts to warm up a little bit more, of course, they'll start emerging. Our sister station in Altoona, Pennsylvania, has more about the return of these unique insects.
There are annual cicadas, which we can see every year, and there are periodical cicadas, which live underground for 13 or 17 years and mass emerge in broods.
Brood 10, the emergence that's happening this year, is the largest of all of the broods or emergences, so it's a big deal.
So why do they come out in groups? Well, it's a defense against their predators.
If you and a million of your friends all come out at the same time, there are only so many birds and mammals that can eat you. And so those predators get satiated. They eat as many cicadas as they can, and then they're full. And so everybody that doesn't get eaten is free to mate and lay eggs.
Your experience may depend on what type of environment you live in.
If you live near woods where there are lots of cicadas going to be around, it can be extremely loud to the point of being almost deafening.
The song you'll hear them singing is the male's mating call. They'll be around for about 4 weeks while they mate, lay eggs within the wood of trees, and then die off. Large trees can handle this, but smaller trees may die from the damage.
If you are thinking about putting trees in this year, maybe it's a good year to not do that and just wait for the fall or wait till next year. Just avoid it altogether.
Well, that is going to wrap up this WNCT Now Afternoon update. I'll be back again at 4 o'clock with another update for you, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And thanks so much for listening.